Good afternoon. Israel has hit back at the countries behind last night's UN resolution demanding a halt to its settlements on occupied Palestinian territory. It has recalled its ambassador to New Zealand and is scrapping aid to Senegal. But most of its anger is being directed against President Obama, who refused to wield the US's veto, as Simeon Brown reports.
In Bethlehem, the city where the Nativity started, these armed Palestinian soldiers are part of the story's sequel that has a plethora of characters, subplots and disputes. Today's is raised by Israeli settlers who continue to reject the international community's call to stop building settlements on occupied land. Days before Christmas, the United Nations Security Council passed a resolution demanding the end of Israel's settlement building. Strong reactions on both sides followed.
Would this council have had the nerve to condemn your country for building homes in your capital?
Israel, the occupying power, has been permitted to entrench its occupation and a one-state reality with absolute impunity.
5 years ago, a similar motion was vetoed by the US. The difference is on this vote, Israel's American allies abstained. Those divisions in the chamber can also be heard on the ground in one of East Jerusalem's most disputed settlements.
It's our right to keep building here.
These settlements, according to international law and all laws, were illegally built on the lands of others.
The UN resolution? I think that the UN never represented the state of Israel. It was always against it.
This was a fair decision for the Palestinian people who have been treated unjustly for 50 years. It is our right to get a fair decision from the Security Council, and it was a slap in the face for the state of Israel.
Those divisions are unsurprising. This is not the first time a UN resolution has condemned Israeli settlements, and it's hard to see what difference this one will make. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected it, and President-elect Trump suggested that on matters relating to the UN and Israel, when he takes over, things will be different.
Police in Tunisia have arrested the nephew of the suspected Berlin truck attacker, Anis Amri. The 18-year-old was detained along with 2 other people thought to belong to the same extremist network. Amri was killed on Friday in a shootout with Milan police. Tunisia's Interior Ministry said Amri's nephew had received money to join him in Europe and had been in contact via social media. The Star Wars actress Carrie Fisher is in hospital after apparently suffering a heart attack during a flight from London. The 60-year-old was taken to hospital as soon as the plane landed in Los Angeles and is now in intensive care. She recently finished filming the latest instalment of Star Wars and had been in the UK promoting her new book. The manager of Status Quo's guitarist Rick Parfitt says that he has died in Spain, aged 68. Parfitt was admitted to hospital on Thursday following complications with a pre-existing shoulder injury. He died this afternoon after suffering from a severe infection. Christmas travellers have been warned of potentially severe delays to their journeys. Weather warnings have been issued after storms cut power to 21,000 homes in northern Scotland. Meanwhile, railway lines and stations across the country will close for several days as Network Rail carries out 200 improvement projects. That's the news. We're back tomorrow at 2:10. Until then, have a very Merry Christmas.